didn't ask me where. All right. So there you can see the quote that she sent us, which is for 500.
Yeah, so there's 300 in the original quote, and then there's an additional 200.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
For 500 devices and 500 lanyards. I guess I should have pointed with a.
What do we
No.
do if it's not enough?
Oh, the devices?
What do we do if 600 people show up? Is it good
Then
use?
you don't use them, I guess.
Right. Well, there is also the opportunity through this company to rent additional ones. If you need them, you can rent them, for a day, so that if we are anticipating a large volume, we can rent additional.
No, but what if at the meeting, all of a sudden, we have 500 there, but 600 people walk in?
Well,
Then you don't use them and you
Then
would
you
go
don't-
back to the old way. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, but necessarily, but why wouldn't you just rent them all the time? Like, then you're not in charge of maintaining and updating and.
There's kind of something to be said for that. We don't have to solve that now. But
Oh, you need the system. I gotcha.
How long did we
Okay.
take setting up this thing so we could speak through the mics? We do this once a year with one person who's not a technical person, and we don't have a town meeting.
all right.
It's not a trivial point. It isn't.
Yeah.
And there's no maintenance in that either. You buy these things, there's gonna be maintenance, and it's not gonna be us doing it.
Okay. Anybody feel a need to talk about clickers more? No. Okay. Let's go to the stuff that we need Christopher for. What do you want to start with? Elm Street?
Yeah, and Julie, if you want to let me just share my screen, you might have to. I actually, you know what? I already can. You're good. I got it.
You can do it.
Yep. So let me just pull this up really quick. So if folks recall, last week we talked about how there was some need for a motion under the Elm Street placeholder article. We are going out for that to bid for that project in the next couple weeks. And I will just share this so everyone can see the motion. Oh, I do have to send you a little request, Julie.
Okay.
Great. So here's the motion. Just some background. Basically, there's a series of
Can you make that bigger?
Yeah. Let me blow it up for you. There's a series of utility poles on the south side of Elm Street. And we have been talking to Eversource about the need to move those poles while we're in the middle of this project. And as they're currently configured, if we were to go forward with this Complete Streets project, redo sidewalks on both the north and south sides of Elm Street, those poles would end up in the middle of those sidewalks. We are really hoping that we can get Eversource to budge on this. We've reached out to, council. We've sent Eversource a demand letter. But this article is kind of a fallback. If we're not able to get Eversource to move the poles, this allows the select board to take some easements to essentially create little bump outs onto private property so that the sidewalk will actually meet ADA standards. Again, not ideal, but a kind of a fail safe if we're unable to get Eversource to acquiesce to the demand to move the poles in time for the project. Couple things I would mention. This motion is kind of modeled on the temporary construction easements that we took back in the fall for the project, and it includes an appropriation of $10,000. That is based off of our most recent appraisals, which were done for the Stillwater Bridge project last winter, and then also we're estimating these easements probably their value is unlikely to be more than $100 a piece. They could be up to $400 or so. But regardless, 10,000 should more than cover it. And it says here that could come either from either of the two grants that are involved in the project, or could come from Chapter 90. And we did cap the square footage of these easements at 2,500 square feet. Again, that's well above what we're looking for. These easements are pretty small. And the last thing I might mention is just that it's the quantum of vote is 2/3 because it is easements of land. So that is the motion in a nutshell.
I have a question.
Do the mic so he can hear you.
I have a question. If this does go to the point of requiring essentially eminent domaining these utility poles, how's that going to affect electric service to the customers connected by those poles?
Yeah, well, you always are going to have those poles on that street. They're just not necessarily going to be in the middle of our sidewalk. So essentially, there will be a period during construction where there will be double poles up while they switch over all the utilities that are on the old pole, put them on the new pole, then they remove the old pole. And so there shouldn't really be any major interruption in service. It's just it takes time because you have a lot of utilities to coordinate. A lot of folks who have their wires on those poles.
Well, I was just concerned because you seem to indicate that Eversource was being reluctant to go along with this. And, if they really dig in their heels, is somebody going to have to go out, is the town highway department going to have to go after them with a chainsaw or something?
Yeah, I think we have a few other, tools to deploy to make sure that Eversource acquiesces. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's really in their interest to move on this while that road is open. We only do a full depth reclamation of a road every 50 years or something like that. So it's going to be a while before, those trenches are dug again. So hopefully they understand that and see it as an opportunity. And to be honest, it might be a little bit of a negotiation and a conversation with them. But I think in the end, they're going to see the benefit to it.
So I think that part of the answer, though, didn't you say that if we get to the point where Eversource does not move the poles, then the poles stay, they won't change, and then the sidewalk will bump around them?
Oh, yes, right. So yeah, that is the point of this article. Again, it's a fail-safe. If we can't get Eversource to move things in time, then we still have a way of constructing these sidewalks in a way that's ADA compliant.
So the funding options were either grant or Chapter 90.
Yes. Yep.
Complete street.
So aside from this, what other active town projects other than road infrastructure are proposed to be funded through Chapter 90 in some part?
Yeah, I think the only other one that comes to mind that's a major project that's ongoing is the Stillwater Bridge project. And again, it's only similar to this project. It's only really the kind of marginal costs, acquisitions and of easements, appraisals, those kind of minor costs. So there's no major expenditures from Chapter 90 for any of these town projects.
Is any part of the 1888 building proposed to be, or the parking lot or anything proposed to be funded through Chapter 90?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
I think that was originally part of the discussion, but this is my understanding, the price came in so good on 1888 that they're able to cover everything with the grant funds that they have. So
That's correct.
any other questions on this? So you're ready for us to vote to support or not support or whatever, right?
Yeah, and obviously it's too late to put this on the warrant that's out there and posted in town already, but we'd love to include if, the finance committee does have a recommendation on it, to put that in the meeting guide.
Have you guys already voted it?
We have not. Nope. I think he was still putting this together, I think, with Lisa.
Anybody want to make a motion?
We'll move to recommend in favor of the proposed motion to be funded if needed from grant funds or Chapter 90.
Second,
Any discussion or questions?
Same motion for the select board.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? That's unanimous.
All those favors for select board?
Aye.
Tim Hilchi, aye.
The Elm Street pole stuff.
All righty.
Oh.
Oh, goodness. Okay. And then you had a report back from discussions with council on how to present the omnibus.
Yep. So Lisa's thought was, given that it's the select board's motion and the select board had the slightly higher number, and we can decrease but not increase whatever number is put out there. Her inclination was to go with that select board number. So that's currently how that motion is written. And that's likely what'll go in the meeting guide for Monday.
Okay. Any questions or discussion on any of that?
Will the finance committee's recommendation go in the finance committee's report? I know that the motion itself is going to be framed for the select
Yeah.
board's proposal.
Probably. I don't know. That's like, we're gonna get to that. So yeah, that's sort of the main agenda item for this evening, but
How will the town know what the finance committee recommends on at town meeting?
It'll be brought up. Usually Dan will say, there's a discrepancy here. And as we go through it and call the numbers, somebody will put a hold on it, I'm sure. We can, for sure, if you want.
I was gonna say by somebody, you mean the finance committee.
First, the finance committee or anybody in town meeting will just say, hold when it gets to that line item of the conservation agent.
Christopher, do you have the motion sheet up there that has the chart I gave you?
because they.
Yeah, I can share
Because it has two different columns. One column is requested and one column is recommended, and there will be about a $10,000 difference in there. So it's going to be clear, but the motion itself will have the higher number.
Okay, we saw that last week. That's fine.
Yeah.
I remember it.
Okay. So if we feel strongly enough about it, somebody from finance committee could make a motion to reduce the that line item. We would have to, you have it in writing and you give it to Dan, but
I don't think it has to be in writing. They take a verbal,
Only
if you
can
make a
change,
motion, though, it
yeah.
has to be in writing.
yeah.
Like if we wanted to make a motion to change the
Yeah.
total amount. But I don't know.
Can I hit
Yeah.
on one quick thing? I
course.
spoke with Darius today. In the capital plan, we have 40,000 set aside for the flooring.
Mhm.
And he and Shelley were going over their books, and they have found out that they can use, they can pay for about 70% of that with their extra money that they have in school lunch account. So I think what he's going to do is make a motion on town meeting floor to reduce that amount. He just found out today, he feels bad
nice.
because he had to free up the money ahead of time, but it might be around a $28,000 deduct. He's still not got the number perfect yet, but it's right about there, that on town meeting floor, that he'll ask a motion to reduce that amount down to whatever the difference of 40 and 28 is, and then
Okay.
12, and then that'll be, I guess the rest will just roll into free cash or something, so.
I
Okay.
believe it was 44.
Oh, was it?
I think it was 40.
I feel like 44.
Was
yeah.
it? Oh, okay.
Have it sitting here in front of me.
But yeah,
So
if
last
they had,
year or the year before, when we had reductions, Dan just did them when he read the motion
oh,
rather
great.
than,
Yeah, maybe he
um,
could just do that. We could check with,
rather than making a, yeah.
yeah.
So I would talk to Dan about
Okay.
it and see what.
Yeah,
they-
Trevor, we can just write the motion now so that it'll
Okay.
go in the guide that way. I'm just gonna email Darius right now and confirm,
Great.
but yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah,
Great.
he had said that, I guess they had finally checked with the state and some of the money can be used and the cafeteria qualifies for it, that fund. So they have some extra money that kind of keeps building up in there. So they want to use it for that instead.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Take every bit we can.
Yeah.
Okay. An update on citizen petition motions based on discussions with Dan and Lisa.
Yeah, just really briefly, obviously there are a bunch that are somewhat complicated in that they require special legislation. Dan decided he's going to reach out to the individual petitioners, so that at the very least we have motions that are legal. And then, town meeting can debate the merits of those proposals. So I would say, I think there was a question about the 2-year moratorium and whether or not that was legal. And Lisa's take on it was, well, yes, you could do that, but you would need to change your bylaws, and this article doesn't quite do that yet. So Dan is going to be reaching out to the folks who filed all those petitions, and we shall see if everyone, gets a motion across the finish line in time. So that's where we stand on those.
Okay.
Any questions on any of that? No. Okay. So the last thing that I had sort of planned to talk about is the report to, hang on, I'm sorry. Let me share it.
Julie, can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
Did we do Article 17, the Stillwater Bridge one? I'm
There aren't no requests for easements, so they're just gonna pass over it.
okay. I didn't. I
So
meant
we
that.
didn't do it because
Okay.
there's nothing to do.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. No. That's too small to see, right? That's better, right? Okay. I made a couple minor changes from what I sent you. I noticed that I kept saying healthcare instead of health insurance, so I fixed that. The total health insurance, the numbers that I had from Frontier were from February when they were still thinking it was going to be a 20% increase. So when it came into a 12.5% increase, it's not as high, which is good. So it's not, it's about 480,000 total that we paid increase in healthcare if you include what we did at fall town meeting, what we're doing at this town meeting, plus the Frontier and the Franklin Tech. And I did reach out to both Frontier and Franklin Tech and confirm those numbers with them. So that number is correct. Holly confirmed that it was building permits that mainly kind of gave us the excess in free cash. So that question is answered.
Do you want comment
You bet.
at this point?
Sure.
Can we go back up then?
Yep.
I don't know how you got the 9,000. This is the first paragraph under the 49,130. That 9,000? I got
Yeah.
6,256
For,
base for the state mandated library materials, but I'm sure I'm missing something, but I don't know what. The original
the
budget,
original said 50,000,
right,
but 50,000 actually wasn't high enough because 50,000 is not 19% of whatever the, so it was more like 54, 53,
Okay.
54, somewhere around there.
and then it wound up at 43,740.
Yeah.
Okay. can we, I don't know how you want to do this. Hey, I have another question, another thing on
Yep.
page 1.
Go ahead.
We talk about debt excluded taxes.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of the people in the audience know what that means.
I don't know.
I'm thinking maybe we should just explain it quickly. It's just my thought. Tell them that it really only affects Prop 2.5. That's just my thought. Put it out to the committee.
Yeah. How about if I add a note here to explain this better?
If you think, I
And,
mean, that's just my feeling. I don't know how the rest of the committee feels.
You're probably right. There's definitely people who are going to read it who has no idea what this means. I was trying to walk the line between having the thing be 10 pages long and explaining enough so people got the point. But I think you're right. I think this one is probably going to be explain better.
You just-
How's that?
Just say simply debt exclusion means it's not calculated for Proposition 2.5. Something that simple.
Okay. It's not what? What did you say?
Subject to Proposition 2.5, or applicable.
Yeah, I'll figure something out. Okay. Anything else on page 1? Anybody else have anything on page 1? All right. Page 2 at the very top. Holly pointed out that when I say real estate revenues, people are going to think that's property taxes. So I changed it here. This is, oh gosh, this thing's in the
Sale of town-owned property.
way. Yeah.
So we used $45,000 from the sale of real estate fund, which was the sale of that Little Red Barn on Jewett Avenue by the DPW. So we used 45,000 of that towards capital expenditures.
So I changed it. See if you like this better. Capital stabilization fund and revenues from the sale of town-owned property were used for capital expenses.
Yeah.
That seems clear. Yeah.
I just thought
Okay.
real estate revenues, people were.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah.
This, I was off by that $442, so I fixed it in here. Holly caught that also. So this 21,677,056 is the right number with, and this is the,
That is.
There. that's the finance committee number. Yeah.
That's the finance committee number.
Do you guys have an opinion? Should I have I guess I should have the select board number in there since that's what people are voting unless there's a motion. Right? All right.
So you're gonna want to add 1049 to free cash use.
10 what?
489.
489 to free cash in total.
And to the general fund on your expenditure side.
Okay. And then I added a section here. We had it in our slides, but the impact of overrides on taxes, the thing about there being 2 overrides and how that, the percent increase to the taxes. So I'll scroll up so you can read what I wrote, see if this is okay with you. So y'all don't have to sit through this if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You're welcome to, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's
Is
gonna
that
ask,
percentage?
There's round off error, 2.3 plus
I was gonna
0.7
say,
is not
somebody's
2.9, but it is.
somebody's
yeah.
gonna ask about that.
Yeah. I mean, I could add another decimal point, but
Maybe you should say, total percent increase with override amount.
okay. Come on.
Just to differentiate it.
It's a column.
Hmm?
It's a column.
In the column, yeah, in the
Yeah.
Some of
column.
them are with and some of them, one of the top ones without.
That's what it used to say, and then I took it out because the first line doesn't have it. I don't know. But it's no. Yeah. All right.
Julie, you've got the free cash amounts laid out, the use of free cash to the budget.
Mhm.
Do you have any detail in here about the use of free cash and why the overrides, or especially the South County EMS override, is being presented?
I don't. I probably should.
Well,
So I have separately, if I can find it. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, I shared. Hang on. Stop share. Share. Screen. There. So that was really loud. Since we're going to be in the gym, we're not going to have a screen to be able to project slides. So I was going to ask Greg to print out a set of slides. They will be doo-ba-doo. 2 per page, black and white only. But it would be kind of the usual presentation. And in that I have, well, here's the overall, I'm going to cover these later, but here's the revenue sources for the budget and the EMS. So we have this slide. I can add a written description about why.
To be honest, I think just having a prepared explanation to read out, to deliver verbally might be most effective.
Okay.
Because nobody reads.
Huh?
Nobody reads handouts.
Well, so what I usually do is once we agree to this is I post it on Deerfield Now and Deerfield Right Now and whatever. So that gets it out to some people. And then I think we post it on the website too. So people who are motivated can get it and read it before the meeting. There's probably 2 people who do that, but there might be 5. But you're right. If you want me to, I can take a stab at adding something. They need it tonight. So, I'll go home and do that, but you won't have a chance to read what I write.
It's fine, but I really think it seems important to me that people understand how we are funding the budget and this huge portion of free cash that we're allocating to recurring expenses. The fact that it's not sustainable. And I mean, if we want this override to pass, I think people need to understand that the use of free cash for these recurring expenses, especially for South County EMS, which is using over $500,000 in free cash this year, is not sustainable. And next year we could be, facing the same problem or something
Yeah.
that's much worse.
Go ahead.
By the same token, it would be important to point out that that is essentially a one-time charge, and that once it is part of the operating budget and funded, then, only whatever increase in the SCEM's budget that isn't covered by, receipts would be, that we're not going to keep doing this every year, in other words.
Right, right.
Yeah, it is a permanent adjustment on the tax levy, so, but it's just gonna be it's going to roll into, the tax levy, and it's going to free up, free cash, which could absolutely be used for other important projects like road infrastructure,
Mhm.
capital items and things like that. Right now, we're getting to the point of being stuck.
So Margaret, would you be willing to put together a statement and make the statement at the meeting?
Yeah, and I'll just use historical use of free cash, and I think
Yeah.
people would.
And the numbers are
understand.
here, right? So you can, you have that. And that's just
I'll run
free
it-
cash
run it
for
by
the budget and the
Run
whatever.
it by you.
Okay. I want you to do it because I'm not convinced yet that I support it. I think that if we're able to meet this without making any cuts this year, in which case, why are we asking for an override this year? And next year we might, we keep being promised that EMS is gonna go down and it keeps not going down. And there's always a reason every year, but I have this fantasy that it will get under control and be met. And then we have the 250,000 promised from the landfill solar that would help us meet it. And I have great confidence that if we are given more money by the taxpayers, we will spend it. And it's which there's an argument for, but I don't want to be the one making the argument at town meeting because my heart's not in it. I don't agree. So
I will
somebody else
I will
needs to
not
do
be
it.
trying to sell an override, but I think it's worth discussing.
I can explain why the override's on the budget, and you can trust me to put something in writing in here that explains that. I'm just not going to make the argument in front of the town. So do y'all want me to put something in the written body that describes this also? Great, non-committal, whatever. Okay.
Say nobody reads things anyway.
Alrighty. I've lost okay. Back to the budget overview. This was updated with that 442, and I'll need to fix, the fix.
I should probably ask, because the select board has put this on the warrant, is the select board going to be speaking to this warrant article
For which?
for the South County EMS,
Sure.
the override? Okay.
Yeah.
But on something like that, they typically ask for a finance committee comment in addition to what the select board says. So, yeah, very short. Here's healthcare to health insurance again.
What
Oh.
about the expenses, chart expenses?
Yep.
Table up above?
Yes,
I,
the numbers don't match.
it's off by the amount of the Conservation Commission, right?
No, it's
Between-
off.
Between the expense detail and what's on here?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another comment. I
Yep.
found snow and ice to be very misleading.
Okay.
Snow and ice, it should be.
Snow and ice overage.
Because
Something, yeah. Looks
yeah,
like
the
we
snow and
looked up
ice
in the-
budget is 100,000, but we've had to add to it last year. We had to add to it again this year. So I at first looked at it too and was like, no, snow and ice is 100,000, not 110, but that is the overage.
Right, I understand
Right.
that, but the taxpayers will think we only spent 110,000.
Over,
Maybe, unless they look up above.
okay, good
Right.
point. Yep,
And it's
I will
really-
change that.
I don't, we don't call that out because it's really going to be, well, the town meeting warrant is 130, but
only
20 we're
100
using.
is out
so,
of the-
Yeah, it's within the,
Yeah,
And- Or leave it, that's,
no,
That's what I
overage
thought.
should-
yeah.
And you might even want to put FY 26 overage. Maybe put it in parentheses at the end.
Okay. Good point. Anything else?
Nope.
Nope.
not on that page,
Okay.
that's it.
Page 3, in this education, again, same thing I said earlier, that number that I had for Frontier was too high. So, it's not true that the total, everything for schools is explained by health insurance. So I'm gonna get rid of the markup so you can see what it actually says now. So the total increase to these budgets is 386. The healthcare is just over 300. So most of it is caused by healthcare, but not the entire thing. Good with that. Healthcare to insurance. Warrant items.
You,
Yep.
we mentioned, made this request last year. Excuse me. Can we mention, or would you mention that not, we say recommended or not recommended.
Mhm.
Can we mention that there may be members of the committee that voted
So
the other
up
way?
at the very beginning, it says, although votes were often not unanimous, this description provides an overview of the discussion and rationale. At the very beginning of the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay.
We're not the Supreme Court.
Well, Dan told me that he doesn't like to put the numbers down. Like we either recommend it or we don't recommend it, and saying it's 411 or 60 or whatever,
Who said that?
the moderator. Any other?
Article 9,
comments? Article 9. Yep.
a little more. Not the same as I'm looking, you've changed it.
Yeah, I can take this out too, if you want me to.
There was a paragraph that talked about the costs of taxpayers have increased significantly in the past 10 years.
Yeah, it's right here.
And it just discussed the library and the wastewater treatment plant. Came in the middle about discussing skims.
Right.
I don't know if I'm clear with that.
Okay.
But it looks like it took, oh, yeah.
No, it's still
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
still here.
But we're talking about skims and all of a sudden,
We're talking about increasing people's property taxes by $400,000. And we're saying we want an override, $400,000 that increases your property tax another 2.5% or something on top of the 2.3 that's already there. And we're going to do that recognizing that last year was a 6.5%, the year before was 4, the year before was 5, or whatever the numbers are. We haven't done a 2.5% in years and years. And people who are on sewer they've seen their sewer bills go way up, and everybody is seeing inflation. So costs are going up all over the place, and our taxpayers are being hit by this. And this is this is why I don't want to be the one presenting this article, because I don't agree with it. And I, yeah, go ahead.
Perhaps overall costs for taxpayers would make it a little clearer. The dissenting vote pointed out that overall costs for taxpayers have increased significantly in the past 10 years due to.
Well, I just, to me, it jumped out. Like,
Yeah.
it seemed like it belonged somewhere else, but that's okay. Let it go. That's
It's
just the
so
way I.
here.
I think it, with the change Julie made there, it points out that this is the other argument. Like it goes with this because this is the
The
this is
argument
like the
again.
nay-
Yeah.
nay argument.
So I'm trying to be super impartial. So I'm putting my argument in here. I don't have the dissenting arguments in any of the other ones. So like,
Yeah.
call me on this if
I
you
was
want
just going to
to.
mention that you've got something at the top that says these are not unanimous necessarily.
Right.
But then in this one particular one, you point out there was a dissenting vote when you could probably do it in a neutral way, saying by way of explanation, property, da, da, da. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
So I can go back to there as recognition that overall costs.
Or this was as part of the discussion or something, yeah.
Mm.
Because
Well, raise your hand at the meeting and
Oh, I will.
delete.
Uh,
Raised, not rated. Treasury is being rated.
raise, thank you. You happier with that?
Oh, I was gonna, leave it up to you.
And the final sentence seems like it's very neutral. Yeah,
I think that's important to point out, that it's not increasing the SCEMS budget, it's shifting the source of funding. Okay. Any other, I don't think I made any other changes. Anybody else have any other changes? Anywhere?
The only
Nope.
thing, the only thing you could likely do now is, what was that one that Christopher just went over?
Oh, right, right, right.
Wanna
I need to
update
add that
Article
in.
16, because you just voted.
Thank you. I would have totally.
funding source.
This would, yeah, this would be funded from chapter 90 and complete streets grants.
Is that enough? You guys happy with that? Okay. Any other changes to that? No. Okay. And then the slides that we will go through are the ones that we went, essentially the ones we went through the other night. This is a shorter version of them. Come on. Why is it not? I can make this big. Which is just, these are what the revenues are. Look, property tax is 2.3%. This is why. Revenue sources for omnibus budget and EMS, and look, free cash has been high and is going up a lot the past 3 years. These are the percentages for the overrides. Say something quick about that. operating and maintenance, these are the percentages of the different categories. I don't really have anything to say about that other than providing it for people to look at. I guess I'll point out that the education includes the benefits for the Deerfield Elementary. So this number is higher than ever. I'm going to accentuate that the library budget was rearranged. And the police cruiser was shifted to capital expense so that we could even meet our budget. And then these numbers, I mean, it'll say right in it, in this table, library utilities and police cruiser have been shifted back, so you can see the percent increase in the different categories.
Julie, can you go back one more? Yeah. The rearrangement, I just read those real quick. The rearrangement is driven by the state library budget, but the total increase wasn't driven by the state library budget, right? Like the total increase is driven by, I was just reading through them.
Yeah.
Maybe just move it up.
Would you rather?
Yeah, you could put driven by the state library budget first, and then it wouldn't look like if you just keep reading, I know it's a separate bullet, but
So I could take this X and put it here.
yeah.
That's
Thank
better.
you.
You're right. Good point.
Just have a quick question, Julie, about if SCEMS override passes, will SCEMS be folded into public safety in a future chart? I just wanted to,
Does it go in public safety or does it go in health,
No, it's-
whatever?
It's still gonna stay down below because it's an enterprise fund. It's not part of the general fund. It's an enterprise fund. It would stay down below. It just would be funded
Yep.
using taxation instead of free cash. It would be nice if we could put it up there, but we can't with it being an enterprise fund.
and do you know if Sunderland and Whately already have it in their budget, or do they do it out of free cash too? That,
And did that?
How are they able to do that?
Hmm?
How are they able to do that? All right, these are percent increases. We went through this the other day. Showing what the increases are, showing what the decreases are. I need to change this so that where's the conservation age? Oh, it isn't. Okay, I made it the 31 in here. And that's it. Any questions on any of that or recommendations or thoughts or whatever? Okay. I will stop sharing. That is everything that I had. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Do we need to post it? We probably need to post a meeting along with town meeting in case something else comes up that we need to talk about. Do we know of anything? We don't know of anything, right?
Not at this moment, no.
Unforeseen
Okay.
things are by definition unforeseen.
Oh,
Exactly. So I'll post for what, 15 minutes before? I think that gives us time. All right. Maybe I'll actually do it this time rather than talking about it. And then is everybody, like, assuming Mark gets elected as moderator, we'll lose him. Does everybody else intend to continue on for another year? No?
I finally figured out what we're doing.
That's like, not a chance.
I think this is the end of
Obligated.
Oh, okay.
service.
my terms.
Term.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I can figure that out, who is done. report has the. So it looks like up in 2026 is Jim, John, and Beth. So you're thinking about not continuing, huh? Oh, no. How about you, John? Are you thinking about not continuing also?
Just assume not being vice chair.
Okay. We can probably do that. So it looks like we'll have 2 openings. Okay, Jim, you're
I'm on.
good. Okay. All right. So we are looking for two new members starting next year. Mark and Beth. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And then I don't, does it start like right after the meeting? Right after
Right
the
after
vote,
the
or is it,
election.
no, right after the election?
Election, yeah.
So it's not like
It would come. get-
fiscal year associated, it's
I
pretty
don't
much
believe
as soon as
so.
the election is done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Break them in slow. Huh?
Yeah.
Let's get some super controversial.
Right, exactly.
Everybody's hollering at each other. Okay, and then we're gonna need a meeting either at the end of this fiscal year or the beginning of next fiscal year. When do we need to do it before the end of the fiscal year to do transfers and stuff, or can we do it?
Yeah, there'll be one to do transfers. We can get most of them cleared up before the end of the fiscal year, but then there's likely to be another one, in the first week of July,
Okay,
shortly after the close of the fiscal year. Once everything comes in, I get a little more balancing done for anything that, was more than anticipated or was
okay,
unanticipated. So there will be a reserve fund transfer coming to you folks from the library, just to give you a heads up with their electricity costs were reduced in the FY26 budget with the assumption that the solar was going to happen. The solar did not happen for FY26. So they are expecting that they will run short by year end on electricity and phones, I believe. So there will be a reserve fund transfer coming. I was just waiting till after town meeting to deal with that. Too much other stuff going on. And they're technically not overspent yet, but they will be soon. So there'll be a reserve fund transfer right now. There's only the one that I know of. I'm going to start looking, more closely at operating budgets and trying to project out where folks are going to be, at year end now that there's only a couple months left. Crazy.
all right. So I guess do you guys want to pick a date now, or do you want to I'll send out something and
I'll be
do it now.
around in early
Do it now.
July, so-
All right. Figure it out. So we want late June, huh?
As long as we're not meeting before noon, I'll be okay.
Late
Teach,
June.
not sleep.
I'm not sharing him. I know I'm not good. So the week of either the 15th or the 22nd of June. Yeah, I think either of those 2 weeks. Those are the last 2 weeks of June. Do you want the week of the 22nd?
When does my term end then?
Your fiscal year, yeah, June 30th.
Yes, so.
I thought it was July 1st.
You thought you were.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I thought I was going to one more meeting.
I don't think you're good.
What was the date you just said? Sorry.
How about June 22nd, which is a Monday? I guess there's probably nothing on the town calendar out that far. Huh? Nobody can think about anything beyond May 11th. So.
I can't think about anything till after this one's over with.
Yeah, there's nothing on the town calendar for June 22nd. Does that work?
Did you
You're
say-
not here.
Did you give a time?
5. 5:30, 5:30. Okay. 5:30. 5:30 on June 22nd. All right.
And maybe I would suggest holding July 13th, which is the Monday, if we need to have another.
That's kind of right. You have to do it by the 15th, right?
Yeah,
So the
technically.
13th, that works for me. Does that work for everybody else? July 13th? Except for Beth, who's abandoning us. 5:30. I'm all done. Oh, sure.
Hi, Jeff Upton, Hillcrest Avenue. Are we still using 350,000 as an average tax base for houses, property? Residential, or has that
there's-
increased?
I can figure that out. Hang on.
Just very quickly, I'm sorry, but we've been using 350,000, so
There's an average, the DLS calculates the average single-family home value.
Right.
And I don't know what it is, but I can find it.
That was 4 something too, but.
It'll take me a couple of minutes.
Reason why I'm asking that is there's other things that are related to that we've used and different committees have used in that, such as the senior center have used the 350 as far as an average, saying that the proposal for the property in Sunland would only increase the tax cost to the residents of Deerfield on an average $350,000 home, $50. And I'm just wondering if that's accurate. And then once we establish that, I'm also wondering, dollar-wise, the 400,000 for the SCEMS override, what's going to be the actual dollar amount? I understand the percentages, but a lot of people might not understand those percentages. I think people, from what I'm hearing in town, from different people that I speak with, would like to understand what the dollar value is, as far as equivalent to the percentage. Because a lot of times they walk in and they're seeing these numbers for the first time, and you throw out 1.2%, they really don't understand what that means. But if you say, well, it's going to cost you another $100 on your tax base, they'll understand that. I'm just trying to get a little better focus so people understand. And while I'm at it, by the way, I'm pretty impressed with the overall percentage of the tax increase this year. I think the Finance Committee and I believe the Select Board have a part of that. Did a pretty good job this year.
It's generous of you. Yeah.
Yep.
Get it.
I'm not happy about it. But like I say, I've been here enough, so I know the efforts have been made.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that I was curious.
So we don't actually have any control over that. That's just 2.5%. That's all they'll give us, right?
I know,
Legally.
that's
So
it.
it was
That's
like,
it.
I
But,
guess we didn't buy any new buildings or
Right.
borrow any,
well, I'm just happy that there's not a bigger override. Bigger ask anyways.
All right, so an average single family tax house is 467, 172.
Okay, 467, 173. So obviously
172.
with that number, that's going to tweak.
So if we put, what's the senior center thing? It's 103 something? Come on. It's 103 what?
103,523.
523. Calculate. So this is the DLS, this is the
Right.
Massachusetts DLS website, right? So,
Yeah, using our current tax rate.
so the average single family tax bill impact would be $42.05. And you can see on the price of your house what that is up here.
So it'd be 4205.
4205 for 103.
Right, yeah. Right. Okay. And
And then the 400,000 one is going to be essentially 4
Right.
times that. So that would be $163.51
okay,
for the average single
163,
family tax bill.
51.
Mm.
All right, so we're up on top of the 2.5, we're up an additional $200 for the overrides.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. And then, do we know, one, what we have for a balance in the CPA account? And also, do we know what the state match was this year for the CPA monies?
So the balance for the account is in the warrant.
I
I don't know what the match was. I haven't heard.
And do we know what the match was, a state match?
I have no
Or the
idea.
current
I haven't
state
heard
match
that.
was on the CPA?
I have not heard.
Okay.
What, it's in the warrant, right?
Yeah, do you have it there in front of you?
Getting it.
Right,
I came without my budget book, so.
okay, you've been averaging between 75 and 80%, great, all right. Right, exactly, I know things are tight all over the place.
Huh? Yeah. No, it doesn't have the. Actually, Holly, you probably.
Motion to adjourn the select board?
Oh, so-
Second. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
See you guys later. Thank you for coming.
And one of the, one of the last things that I have, do we presently at this time have any department or committee that is allowed to spend monies that has not been approved by the taxpayers through either annual town meeting or special town meeting?
Yes.
I realize
There
grant
is-
money at
Yeah,
times
so
has to be
biggest
spent,
grant.
other than grant money.
There's a couple small funds. Holly, you're better to answer this than I am. Like, you can do donations and they can spend,
Right.
like the library can spend, has the Tilton Fund.
Right.
And that doesn't go
That-
through. The police, I think, they get, I'm skating on thin ice here. There's something about when they're involved in a bust that
Right.
has, I don't know, they take possession of a car
Right.
and they sell the car, then those proceeds become
Right,
available.
go into their,
And if they're in, like, they were in a task force with a
Right.
bunch of other towns and there were some proceeds from that, so there's that kind of thing. It's
Yep.
not, I mean, like a large percentage of their budget, but there is something there.
okay,
Any others?
I couldn't think of anything else.
Select board slush fund, that's it.
So this,
I'm not even gonna ask you where you spend that.
what other departments have enterprise funds other than sewer and skims?
But those go through town meeting, right? Yeah, those are appropriated. So those are the only two enterprise funds is SCEMS and sewer.
There's grant funds, certainly, many departments,
Yeah.
and they're definitely.
Oh, yeah, so senior center's gotten a bunch of
Yeah.
grants and they can
Right, yeah,
spend that
grants-
money.
Grants are.
When we had the, I don't know, there's a department, but when they had like the ARPA funds, the select board,
Right.
were in charge of spending that money and that didn't go through town
Right.
meeting.
But that had to get town approval to start with, didn't it? To allow the select board to spend that money?
I don't remember.
Believe,
I don't
be
know.
wrong, but I believe.
It's
that
been
was
so
the
long,
case.
now, maybe.
That was on a warrant.
Right. So I believe.
Yeah.
Right.
every
all
project.
Yeah.
projects.
Right.
Okay,
Leary Lot was never voted. That was,
so pretty much all accounts are
Almost everything.
overseen
Yeah.
by the taxpayer.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's a couple very small ones, I think,
Right,
not a large percentage.
right.
But we even, like, even for grants, we give the select board permission to accept the grants, right?
Right,
Or there's sort of blanket permission to accept grants or something, yeah.
right. Okay. That's,
Yeah.
According to the communitypreservation.org website, Deerfield state funds match was 49.2%.
okay, thank you.
Thanks.
And you want to know the numbers in this?
like multiple.
Which period of time, which year?
That report was from November of 2025.
Were
As
they
of July
matching-
1, 2025,
Yeah.
there was 691,000 in there,
Were you able to find the
and we want to spend
balance of the
531
CPA
based on
account?
this year's
Oh.
warrant.
Could you, Margaret, could you clarify, is
Remember
that,
that?
are they matching 49%
Yeah.
of what we,
With last year, basically.
Okay,
Was three hundred
so the, so the town puts in $100, the state puts in 49.
right, so that's gonna be, right,
So
that's gonna be,
total is-
right,
so they're
higher
essentially
amount.
doing a third.
Right, okay, no, I was just curious, yeah.
Cheapskates.
Yeah.
So undesignated,
Right,
that if we don't use it by June 30th, we only have up to June 30th.
They're planning.
to use it, right,
We don't use that.
Nobody's showing up
Right.
yet.
That's
Right.
close to 500.
right, okay. And what's the average that we collect on that with taxes? Do you know roughly? All right, that's okay, you can find that number later for me. That's what I have for
You good?
questions. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your patience.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
What about discussion?
Okay.
Oh, sorry,
Thank you.
any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to, I think
Thank you
the
very much.
committee should thank you for the job you did this year.
Yeah,
And
you're welcome.
and also
Even if I don't agree with you?
budget overview that you're going to present to the town. I think you did a great job too.
Oh, good,
Thank
thanks.
you.
I've been told. Okay, all those in favor? Have a lovely evening.